This presentation covers RTD's proposed service changes for January 2026. Before we discuss the proposed service changes, let's take a moment to note a few relevant safety updates. In July, security-related calls for service per customer boarding were 1 call for every 1,814 boardings. For the latest security-related metrics, please visit www.rtd-denver.com/security-related-metrics. On October 15th, RTD launched a fully functioning detective bureau. We also have 4 K9 units. Next, let's give an update on the Downtown Rail Reconstruction Project. The second phase of the planned rail replacement at Calumet Street started this fall. Work is taking place between the Auraria Colfax station and the Theater District stations, prohibiting any trains into central downtown. Rail replacement efforts impact RTD's services in the area, significantly impacting the L line, which has been suspended, and altering the D and H lines, which have been rerouted into Union Station and truncated at Southmore stations, respectively. Now we'll discuss the proposed service changes for January 2026. By the end of this presentation, you will better understand the service change process at RTD, including the proposed changes for January. We'll also tell you how you can provide feedback and learn about the next steps in the review process. Please note that due to the low number of changes proposed for January 2026, RTD will not hold an Ask a Service Planner session. Instead, we'll incorporate some time for questions during the feedback and input portion of today's presentation. We will also explain other ways to provide feedback. Let's take a moment to review what service changes are, when they occur, and how they impact RTD services. RTD reviews, proposes, and implements changes to its service schedules 3 times per year. Usually they take effect in January, May or June, and August or September. Service changes support multiple objectives, such as increasing the reliability of RTD services, improving on-time performance, enabling represented employees to select work, and accounting for changes in ridership. There are 5 categories of service changes: route adjustments, service increases, service reductions, seasonal adjustments, and schedule timing. Route adjustments consist of detours or changes to routes or stops to optimize efficiency, improve accessibility, respond to changing travel patterns, or facilitate maintenance projects. A service increase consists of increases to the frequency, trips, span of service, or operating hours. A service reduction consists of reductions to the frequency, trips, span of service, or operating hours. A seasonal adjustment consists of temporary modifications made to bus or rail services in response to seasonal variations in demand or operational conditions. Finally, the schedule timing category consists of alterations to the running time of bus or rail services, typically to align better with customer demands and trip connections, as well as improvements to on-time performance. January 2026 proposed service changes. First, let's start with the proposed changes affecting RTD's rail system. For the D line, it's proposed to change trip times to accommodate the longer travel times to and from the 18th and California stations and the 18th and Stout station instead of operating to and from Denver Union Station. Minor changes are recommended to the E line schedule in order to accommodate changes to the D and H lines. Pending the completion of the next phase of the Downtown Rail Reconstruction Project, it's recommended to restore H line service from Southmore Station to Central Downtown and make changes to the schedule. For the L line, it's proposed to restore the service to Central Downtown and make changes to the schedule pending the completion of the next phase of the Downtown Rail Reconstruction Project. For the R and W lines, the proposed schedule changes will accommodate the changes to the E and H line schedules. Now, let's take a few minutes to explain the proposed service changes for RTD's bus system in January 2026. For the 0, 4, 9, and 43, minor changes to the weekday and Saturday schedules are proposed to improve on-time performance and service reliability. For the 44, it's proposed to shift the weekday westbound trip departing Civic Center at 5:16 p.m. to 5:22 p.m. This will help resolve a gate conflict with Route 1 in Gate 7. For Route 51, minor changes to the weekday, Saturday, and Sunday holiday schedules are proposed to improve on-time performance and service reliability. For Route 65, it's proposed for the 4:41 p.m. trip from Central Park and 54th to instead operate at 3:36 p.m. from Central Park and 54th. This change is for weekday service only. This change will help synchronize the trip with Northfield High School's bell time. For Route 76, minor changes are proposed for the weekday and weekend schedules to improve on-time performance and reliability while accounting for ongoing construction affecting the route. For Route 145X, minor changes to weekday, Saturday, and Sunday holiday schedules are proposed, with the northbound trip currently scheduled to leave Denver International Airport at 1:20 p.m. to departing at 1:24 p.m. For Route 153, minor changes to the weekday, Saturday, and Sunday schedules are proposed. For Route 206, minor schedule adjustment has been proposed, shifting the current 3:23 p.m. northbound trip to leave Fairview High School instead at 3:26 p.m. For Route 323, minor changes to weekday and Saturday schedules have been proposed. For Route 324, Route 326, and the 327, minor changes to weekday, Saturday, and Sunday schedules have been proposed. Minor changes to the weekday schedule for the AB2 has also been proposed. For the Bolt, it has been proposed to extend operations back to Kaufman Street between 9th Avenue and 3rd Avenue in order to serve the 8th and Kaufman Park and Ride. For the Flatiron Flyer 5, minor changes to the schedule have been proposed. For the Metro Ride, minor changes to the schedule have been proposed. For the LD1, LD3, and LX2, it has been proposed to extend operations back to Kaufman Street between 9th Avenue and 3rd Avenue in order to serve the 8th and Kaufman Park and Ride. Minor changes to the schedule have also been proposed. In this section, we'll discuss how to provide feedback and input. Whether you are a frequent customer or a community member affected by changes at RTD, your feedback is important to us. There are many ways you can provide public comment on the proposed service changes for January 2026. To provide feedback online, visit www.rtddenver.com/servicechanges to complete an online survey. If you want to provide feedback over the phone, please contact our customer care team during normal business hours at 303-299-6000. The RTD team also hosts events in the community periodically, during which you can also provide public comment. Visit the RTD events page online to see where we'll be next. If you prefer to provide comment via email, please send a note over to service.change@rtddenver.com. Finally, all customers and members of the public are invited to attend RTD Board of Directors meetings. Customers are asked to be respectful of RTD staff and fellow attendees during public meetings and ask a service planner sessions. To ensure that there is adequate time for public comment, you are encouraged to say or type in the Q&A, "I agree with what has been stated," if you agree with the previous speaker's comments. 1 hour is scheduled for this meeting. If you are not called to provide comment, you can submit your comment via the RTD website or attend another public meeting session in the future. At this point, we'll discuss the timeline and next steps regarding the service changes for January 2026. On October 20th and 21st, public meetings will be held to solicit the public's feedback regarding the proposed changes for January 2026. The deadline for public comment and feedback will be October 30th. On November 12th, the proposed service changes and public comments will be shared with the Operations, Safety, and Security Committee. On December 2nd, the Board of Directors will take action on the proposed January 2026 service changes. If approved, service changes will take effect on January 4th, 2026. Thank you for writing RTD.